Hello friends, in this video we want to talk about the order book. In this part we're going to tell you about the ins and outs of trading with the order book. The information presented here cannot be found anywhere since we gained it from our personal experience. We're also not sure that you can apply this information when using other similar order books, but it may be so. The order book for every currency pair looks differently and generates different signals. It is more likely related to the liquidity and the popularity of these pairs. Less liquid pairs, as shown in this picture, are very hard to analyze due to a representativeness of the sample. Deviations from the total statistics will often happen since volumes of these pairs are too small. Imagine that only 20 trades for GBP CHF shown in order book. It is a very little number, so it is highly probable that these trades will not resemble statistically average ones. Which pairs are liquid and which one are not? By comparing trading volumes of all pairs, one can determine liquid, medium liquid, and liquid pairs. If we build a graph of signals quality for these pairs, it will look roughly the same as that shown above. For example, EURUSD generates the most qualitative signals and GBP CHF generates the most inaccurate ones. Besides all this, the signals are generated and look differently. The signals got from the British pound differ from those formed by the Europe and etc. We doubt whether we can describe it. It would be easier if you observe these pairs by yourself in order to get an insight into every pair over time. There is a number of pairs subject to interventions. This is especially the case with USDJPY. The problem of the pair is that the signals generated by the order book are often ignored by the currency pair, following which it sometimes moves in the opposite direction. By the way, we try to provide examples exclusively for EURUSD when describing signals. It is easier to learn to trade by this pair and it provides more clear pictures. You must also bear in mind the strategy based on correlation of currency pair. It will allow you to make use of the signals generated by EURUSD to trade with GBPUSD easily and vice versa. We have one more significant observation. Price prefers taking into account the data provided by the order book than that published during news release. We don't say that the order book moves the price. As we mentioned repeatedly, the fact is that the order book displays an adequate sample which is very much like the market in the whole. We think that each of you has seen the price dipping after the positive news release. The point is that fundamental news has a long-lasting effect which cannot be always noticed, and events happening during news release are short-term speculations intended to increase volatility. We suppose that all of you understand what's behind these speculations, so the order book is particularly well suited for news trading. Examples are plentiful. Here is one of them. Sometimes seems the order book is preparing for the major news. The fact is not that traders are forced to open trades. We just look at the order book snapshot at some point and think it's going to be a nightmare for traders. That's mostly the way it happens. Can anyone make money trading the news by the order book? You'd better not try it until you master the order book. Your stop losses will more likely be triggered, or you will hardly notice how you find yourself in a group of losing traders. Besides, a high volatility doesn't allow setting reasonable stop losses. We've considered the situation concerning opening trades before the news is published. But what will happen if we open trades 10-15 minutes after news release. In this case, your chances are quite good. Just look at the updated snapshot of the order book after the news release and take the field if there is or there are any signals. It is essential to analyze the dynamics of the order book formation. You can do it by moving the mouse cursor over the chart in the DOMs tool that makes it possible to display the previous snapshots of the order book. The snapshot is a picture as of a certain time and date. For example, one picture is one snapshot. You may notice that volumes occur more actively at particular levels than at other ones while analyzing old snapshots. It helps to understand which levels are more interesting for the audience of traders. Do it like that. If you see that stop losses have accumulated gradually, it indicates that a signal will be stronger than if the stop losses would have rapidly occurred in one of the snapshots. The actively happening in the order book itself signals the current volatility as well. If new trades and orders appears in the order book slowly, it follows that it's not worth expecting sharp moves. When the US session ends, the activity in the order book significantly reduced. Most of the traders shown in order book are Europe or US located, so we can expect that the order book predicts night price moves not so good. Smart trade is a large size trade made by a broker's customers with a required deposit of about 200,000. As we have mentioned in this article, the larger is a deposit, the more profits traders earn. Accordingly, if a trader risks losing such a volume, it means that he knows what he is doing. This is why his trade will bring him rewards.